motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you what happened on my check-in. I was
episode. It's a great way to start the episode, my people. What up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice Eugene Powell.
And apparently Bell got something on his chest. You want to get it out, Bell? What's good?
My people, man, listen. It's the second time in my life that I want to catch a body. Second time. So, first time in my life, we don't got to talk about that. But let's just talk about situation I was having.
He had me as an accomplice, just so we clear.
It was in my own home. And
when was this?
This weekend.
Okay.
Bro, I was in Connecticut this weekend. Came back with my son. Walked in the house, and what I saw, I'm like, they gotta die. They gotta die. Like
you wait.
It's coming. It's coming.
So
It's a build up.
So I walk in, I'm locked in, laying the murder game down, right? Like, and just for y'all to all know, what happened was, my house did a lot of renovations, and as a result, there's some things that like I still got to get done, but I got this outlet that's not covered, and I realized I had a mouse in my house.
Nope.
So
nope.
I'm like, all right, I know where it came from. I'm gonna get it, no big deal. So I left for the weekend, and I put the traps right where the little hole is because I'm like, all right, I don't want to put the traps on the counter. And I'm like, I don't want to put the traps up while I'm here. So I'm like, I'm gonna get the bitch this weekend. So I put the trap right by it, come home, like I know I got him. I see all the installation from inside the wall on the counter. I'm like, oh yeah, he on there. That motherfucker ate my peanut butter off the trap and got away.
Damn.
I said, oh, he gotta die. He gotta die. Like, he gotta die tonight. Like, I couldn't even feed my son the way I wanted to because I was so intent on killing this mouse, man. Like, the disrespect, bro. Like, I was at when I realized I had one, I was at Home Depot at 6 a.m. Got all the traps, put them all in the basement because I know that's where they're coming from. I got an old hatchway door that my uncle's gonna be replacing and all of that. But and then after that, when I saw the peanut butter was eaten off the joint, I went downstairs to look at my other traps. I'm like, these niggas is ninjas. Like, they ate all the peanut butter off the joints, and they not caught. But so I put my traps out. I fed Chase, put him to bed, did all of that, put my traps out, and went to bed. And like 6:40 this morning, I heard them things go off, pop, pop, pop. I'm like, oh, I got his ass. And then I went downstairs, and it wasn't nothing on the counter. So the only thing, I haven't been in the basement. My basement is like creepy basement, like
like you got the lights on,
like the shit that the kids are scared to go in, and adults. like my wife may never go in our basement ever, right? Like, so anyway, I'm like, I ain't had the time to go down there, but after this episode, I'm gonna go down there and see what I caught. But
I say you take us down there right now with you, cause logging on your phone. Let's do this together.
Hey, wait. I'm gonna have to say time out because I don't appreciate the setup for this fucking story. We're not gonna just glaze over how you talk about you had to catch a straight body. You was out of town from Connecticut, and you walk in the house and you saw some shit, and I'm like, I'm not. Listen, I didn't expect you to talk about no motherfucking mouse.
Murder who?
Yeah, that mouse gotta go, boy. And because it's just like the disrespect, bro. Like,
That's funny.
That's the part. So anyway, that's going on with me. I think if him or his homies is down there dead right now in the basement, I got to check in on that. My ankle getting better. My Achilles is. I went on YouTube and these doctors, they said all you got to do if you got like tendonitis and your Achilles is just take 2 fingers and push in the bottom. Yeah, I did that for one day, and my shit felt immensely better the next day. I bought a new car. I thanks. We only had one car because we was I had two. Here's the crazy shit. I sold my truck last year. Chief wanted to be like me, so he went and bought the same one shortly after I sold mine. Yeah, copycat. Anyway, so I sold my truck last year because we lived in the city. We didn't need 2 cars, but now I live outside the city. And I can't get on the train. I could, but it's a hassle. But so I had to go buy a truck, and I like what I like, man. So I bought the same exact truck I sold, just newer. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to fly to Buffalo, and then drive an hour past Buffalo to Jamestown. Bro, Jamestown, New York is 2 hours from Cleveland, Ohio, just for perspective. Like, that shit's far. So shout out to all the people in Jamestown and Buffalo. But yeah, I won't catch me back there again. I'm just telling you that right damn now. But yeah, I drove back. It's like an 8-hour drive, bro. Like, I didn't realize that. But I stopped at my sister-in-law, saw my niece. So I broke the trip up. So it was cool, man. But that's kind of the latest with me. That mouse is encouraging me to get all this little miscellaneous stuff taken care of. I'm calling the electrician back to back, trying to get him over here to finish the little couple things he got to do. I got the closet guy coming on Monday to build that out. And I got my uncle coming right after that to put the doors on the closet, hang a TV. Chief, you ever hang a TV mount on the wall?
Yeah.
You did it, Prentice?
It's a lot more intimidating than it actually. It looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. But yeah,
I've done it before, but never for my big TV, because the big TV I had before in Connecticut, my uncle had to drill it into like mortar, like it was a stone fireplace, so we had to drill it. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So anyway, that's the latest. That's the latest with me. Everything's cool. Took my guy to a pumpkin patch. I'm actually gonna post that picture on my Instagram, All Black Men Need Therapy. If you don't follow us,
start posting on the account then, niggas. We damn sure don't post nothing.
I ain't got time.
Yo, we keep putting it out there. Anybody want to handle our social media?
Clearly they don't, because that's like the 5th time we asked. So
yeah, we're begging at this
point. Yeah, we're picking up what y'all putting down. It's all good.
I hear you.
P, check in, homie.
We have about 18 or 9. We're either 18 or 19 days away from the wedding. I don't know how else to put it, man. So much is happening right now, just all around us and in the house. So much like adversity, and I don't know, like relationship issue or like family problems or nothing like that. There's just a lot of stuff popping off that's so unbelievably bad timing that the only way we can respond to it is like, there has to be something good coming on the other end in a minute. You get what I'm saying? Like 100%. We're getting married 18 days from now, and this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And it's so surreal in a way that it's just like, okay, I'm not like, it's major, but I'm not about to sweat it, because this just is part of whatever's process and whatever's next, man. So I'm good. I just know that we are about to earn that wedding. You know what I'm saying? Just the energy. And that's what I mean by like the wedding, the energy and the love that day. We are absolutely earning right now. So in a way, man, I think it's kind of cool because I can identify that and just perspective, right? You know, like I feel like I'm just going through whatever's having to happen to us right now. We're getting through it. So you know, I'm breathing. I'm still good, man. I ain't shaved and shit. I ain't gonna.
That microphone.
I need the headphones. I'm not gonna sweat it, man. So we're good. The kids are straight. Just getting everything in order, but like I said, we got 18 days, man. So that's all that's on the brain right now.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a shout out too. I mean, for the invitation joint. One, they were really nice, and two,
Ah,
I'm so glad y'all had a QR code I could scan to
hey, man,
like
easy
that.
money, right?
That shit was legit. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
easy money,
I
man.
tell you what, I'm glad I got it and not relied on Chief's ass because I didn't realize it was black tie. So
Yeah.
so this would be my second black tie wedding, which they're dope. The pictures they look real dope.
Yeah.
So I
Aesthetically,
gotta
it's gonna be.
I gotta get my tuxedo cleaned.
Yeah,
But
get that, man. Make that happen ASAP. But yeah, but other than that, you know, we good. We rocking, man. We rolling, and you know, like we go. Oh, you know what? I started writing a poem last year when me and the homies, Top to Fiveology, all my brothers in the crew, we're doing our residency out there at the Kennedy Center. I started writing this poem about my relationship with my mom. And what I didn't realize is that I needed to go back and start writing, finish the poem. And I just finished it actually today. And I've been working on it the past probably like 6 weeks. And it's really helped me. It's really helped me. Like it really, really helped me. And it's dope because I started it a year ago and a lot has transpired since the last time I added to it, right? And so now that I felt like I needed a little bit of closure, here I am with this poem that's completely open that I started a year ago that kind of has assisted me in getting my thoughts and feelings together because I haven't written about it. You know what I mean? Like this was such an emotional thing that writing somehow didn't even come to mind. But this kind of let me do it. So I just finished it, and I really even like the poem.
Is
On
this
top of that, you know,
a piece you intend to share? Because I just remember I was going through some heavy
yeah,
while ago, and you was like, "Yo, Chief, everything ain't for the stage," and I'm like, "Yo,"
yeah,
like it was just like
this,
mind blowing.
yeah, nah, but this one is, and I'll tell you why, but it is because one, what I realize in writing about just my feelings is that when it comes to my work, regardless of how I feel, I'm never gonna get up and say nothing publicly that's gonna disrespect my mama. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? And I think I have enough ability to write with tact and to understand um, what I write for me that's personal and what I write that may get to her ears. You get what I'm saying? And that was my thing. My thing about completing this was one, my mother's getting older, and God forbid anything happens, but the way and the direction of what I needed to get out onto off my chest on the paper, I wanted to say it before it was too late. I wanted to say it while she has an opportunity to hear it because, you know, that's not the plan. But I just felt like it would be kind of cowardly to not finish it and say what I have to say within the poem and my mother not even have an opportunity to even hear it. You get what I'm saying? So um yeah, I'm happy about it, man. But I like it too. Like it's real, it's different, it's a form that I haven't written in a long time, which is from a real honest space. I see growth, I hear it. So I'll be happy when I get to start like tweaking it and stuff, man, because I think this is what I need to help me on my next step as far as the relationship or lack thereof with my mom now. I need to have something. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel a certain way, and creating a piece allows me to constantly do something that's therapeutic about it.
That's what's up. Tap in with me. I want to
Yeah.
hear it, yo.
That's
Yeah,
dope,
yeah,
bro.
I'll read you later.
As far as me, man, had a great weekend, yo. My boys went to Miami with their mom, and so I took my daughter to Atlanta. We went to go surprise my grandma, which was super, super, like, it was so cool, man. Just to see grandma like chilling, and she was just so happy to see us. We only stayed for a day, but like it was just real dope. I called her, told her I was driving with Mia, and I had to use. We just ate, and I had to use the bathroom, so I wasn't lying. Like I'm gonna try to stop somewhere and use the bathroom. She's like, "Okay, well, I love you. Talk to you later." And I'm knocking on the door. She opens it like, "No, it But she's so funny though. She country as hell too. Boy, you out here? You better go play that Mego. You know the Mego. Talk about the Mega Millions, y'all. The Mego. Grandma Bama as hell, but it was so dope. See Auntie Cindy, man, it's kind of cool. But MJ and I went to our first NFL game. We went to go see Niners Falcons, man. We, dressed up the same, had, travel outfits and whatnot. She was real, like, it made her feel good. And it was just a real dope experience, man. We spent the week.
Yeah, I had the matching J's too. I've seen that.
We spent the week like watching football, her learning the game for real. So she's like, first down, like she's like into it. So it was kind of cool, man. Not just to watch it happen. So I told her like either she's gonna fall in love with football or like hate it. So I think she likes it now. So that's kind of cool. She's like, I want to go again, Dad. So I'm gonna try to get her to San Fran so she can, be in that environment. She didn't like it just because we were in Atlanta. So it was like, it's crazy because there was more 49er fans there. We sat next to a couple of Falcons fans and they was going back and forth with a couple of dudes around. It's like that. He's annoying. I'm like, we ain't we in their place right now. So they got the upper hand, whatever. And she wanted to be on the Jumbotron, but they don't really show visitors on the Jumbotron. If you ain't a Falcons fan, you ain't getting on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So she wanted to go to San Fran to see that, but that was kind of cool. But in the process of me in the flight there, I think I was driving in Atlanta and I was talking. I can't remember who I was talking to, but so I wanted to bounce this by you guys and get your perspective on it because it kind of opened my eyes. So I have made it, and I think P, you are similar in this regard, but I've made it like a very conscious effort to find the positive in a lot of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm constantly like, okay, this is going down. Okay, well I can work with that. I can pull that out of there and use it to like fuel me in a positive way, right?
Right.
And I want to say I'm doing a phenomenal job at it because I tend to like take negative experiences and really pull something positive out of it or not let it impact me in the way it would have in the past, right? It would have in the past. But I don't remember who I was talking to, but they were like, is that a part of who you're conditioning yourself to be, or is that a trauma response? And I was like, wow, I didn't think of it like that. But like me trying to be positive and trying to be happy and trying to find the positive in all this stuff, I'm like, could very well be a trauma response. You know what I'm saying? Like you've gone through so much bad or so much negative and heavy that you're just like, yo, I just don't want to deal with it no more. So I'm gonna find the positive and to keep pushing. But I don't really let negative impact me like that as much anymore. But when I think it was her, she said that, I was like, I was like, wait a minute. Like it made sense. I'm like, you know what? It could be, is happiness derived from trauma? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Arroyo, by the way.
I think it depends. Like it depends on if you're ignoring the pain or whatever bad that came along with whatever the scenario is, and you're just, like it makes sense to pull the silver lining out of situations. I get it. Like for me, I know that doesn't apply because I be mad as fuck and I be hurt and I'm emotional. So I feel everything, and I usually got to get to the silver lining. Like that shit ain't instant with me. I don't really be like, oh, this is very fucked up, but the silver lining is, hey, I'll be mad as shit.
I'm the same way, P. Like I'm very in tune and tapped in with my emotions, but I just think I just process it a lot quicker now. It's not as heavy.
So just so I'm clear, the transformation that you've gone through, you thought it was solely based on what?
Growing up, maybe, not investing my
well prior to you hearing whatever you heard, what did you attribute it to? Look, and I'm talking about your shift, Chief. Like
I attribute it to making my mind up. Like at one point, I might have been a book I was reading, but it was like, you'd be so surprised at what you can accomplish by just making your mind up. When you decide you're going to have a good day, you're going to have a good day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not letting anything impact me throughout the course of this day. Today is going to be a great day. And I've like convinced myself that I can do that. And in the face of the bullshit, I'm like, I'm not really tripping. So I'm moving. I've been good. I've been moving. I've been grooving. I'm going to keep it that way. And I think I've conditioned myself to kind of be like, yo, it ain't that bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, and I'm thinking about it because with Peanut, like when you lose someone close to you, when you go through that experience, like it's almost like nothing can bring me back there anymore. And if I can pull myself out of that, like the rest of this shit is minuscule. It's petty to me now. You know what I'm saying? But I now looking back, I'm like, yo, that could my happiness or my intent to find the positive could be a trauma response.
Bro, I asked because at no point did I think it wasn't. Like, at no point did I think everything that, how far you've come was derived from anything less than trauma.
I never attributed it to that. Like I said, I've grown up in many ways. You both of you have been you can attest to it, but like I just felt like, I was doing the work. I'm doing the work. And not that I'm not. But when I was faced with that question, I'm like, damn, it's kind of deep.
Yeah.
Bill, you would know better because you've known him for so long. But is it possible that you could be doing both? You know what I'm saying? Like doing the work and respond. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
absolutely.
I agree.
But when thinking about the question, like it really, like I firmly believe now that it is certainly a trauma response, bro.
At the root of it, like the root of it is based off of a trauma response.
Absolutely.
Bro, we're better off, black men. We're better off when we're unclear on something, attributing it to a trauma response. Right? Because 9 times out of 10 we'll be right.
That's fucking sad, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about it.
I want to laugh, but it's not fucking funny.
No,
it's real.
but it's real.
Sad, bro.
It really is, bro. Like shit is not funny when you think about it. It's not.
It's like if you're going through something and it's and you want to break the cycle, you want to like you got to go. I tell people, man, and here's the reality too, Chief, like you, right? Like where you are in this space. It took you some time to get here, which required introspective work, right? And the challenge with introspective work is it requires you to dig up some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had this conversation. I had a couple weeks ago. We had a UConn football reunion. We got together, and one of my boys has been with his girl for a few years, and he has a daughter who he has custody of. He raised, and she has no kids. And somebody asked him if he's having another one. He's like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm like, his name is Finch. I'm like, Finch, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because for you to have another kid, though these circumstances are completely different, though you're going to have 2 active parents, though you're not going to have to do it on your own, it still requires you to go back to that space, right? That where all the trauma was. And for you to go back there to have a kid, even though that's a great thing, because I went through it. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to have another kid because of all the stuff that I went through with raising my daughter, you know what I'm saying, by myself. Well, but my being the only parent, because I damn sure didn't do it by myself. But and it's like, well, yeah, it's different now. You're married. Your wife has a great career. She's smart. That's cool, right? But it still does not dismiss everything that I went through that I'm going to have to revisit. And some people avoid revisiting it because it's too tough. It's too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like if I didn't get convinced or come to the conclusion that I wanted to have a kid, I would have never revisited that feeling. Yep. And some people, the feeling is so traumatic that you can't bring yourself to go through it. So you never get over it. You see what I'm saying? Like how fucked up is that? Right? Like you go through something so traumatic in your life that you can't even think about that shit no more. And as a result, you can't ever get over it, get past it.
Yeah. That's a great ass point, man.
That is a great point.
You got to coincide. That's a great point. But I definitely think you could be doing both, man.
Yeah.
I think I think part of the work, you got it from a different source, but I think you had to do some work to be able to even like receive it a certain way. You get what I'm saying? To not take it as maybe something that goes in and out, but actually digest it and come to the conclusion that, oh shit, this shit is based off some trauma. So now it's what you do with it. You get what I'm saying?
And that's why I brought it to the table, because Bell mentioned the key word introspective, like intro. Like this is just me doing the work. You know what I'm saying? So when you doing the work, although you may pull some things and look in the mirror and go, okay, I can fix that, you're still not getting that additional perspective to help you look at things from a different lens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're still doing the work and you're going, okay, this is it. And that's that. But I've while we here with the intro, I'm not afraid to put on top. Yo, I am a fucking wizard, bro. At shifting the perspective.
Oh,
like I am.
I
wasn't sure where he was going with that. Like, are you a magician? Oh my god, what?
Especially after the fifth act.
I am like gifted at shifting the perspective, and I think it's to my own detriment. And I want to
shifting your perspective.
Yeah, explain.
So, in any case of an argument, like as much as I'm more open to listen and understand and receive different perspectives, I'm still in the position where I'm like, but this is how I perceived it, and I'm able to deliver it in a way where it's like, okay, this nigga might be right. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's I'm looking at it like it's a negative thing, because although my opinion, my perspective is valid, I think
doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. It's crazy because I do have the balance and the perspective alone enough to listen to someone and hear their side and understand. But I still feel like in the midst of it, I have to like get my shit off too, make sure they see it from how I'm seeing it. How I'm seeing it is how it's going to end. And it's not really confrontational. It's just, yeah, but did you look at it like this? Because this is how I see it.
All right. So here's what I'm going to say. And it's probably going to be controversial. You and I have never had that situation. Here's what I mean by that, where you were wrong and you got me to believe that you were right. Right. So let me
right or wrong thing though, Bell.
Okay, but let me go down this path, and once I'm done, you can tell me if I'm completely wrong, because I could be, right? It's not a right or wrong thing, but in your head, you're right. So they need to value your thought, perspective, whatever that is. So shifting the perspective, right? Like shifting them to your side, basically. Is that what I'm hearing?
I guess so. Well, I don't really, yeah.
So, okay. So that's a form of deflecting, one, right? Two, I would argue that the people you have these conversations with, this is the controversial part, aren't strong enough to have these conversations with you. Like, and again, I don't know who you're talking about or nothing. But what I'm saying is, if you continue to be able to do that, there's some inferiority complex that person's dealing with. Because think about it, bro. Like, we'll say it. Like, I'm like, yo, I know what I'm doing is I'm justifying what my bullshit is right now, right? But here's what my justification. And you won't be like, yeah, see how you did that. You'll be like, this motherfucker always justifying shit. Like, you're wrong, right? Like, you'll hear me out, but you won't let me bring you to my dark side. Same thing.
Right.
You and I've had this. You and I had this conversation. Yo, Chief, you wrong, bro.
That ain't it, right?
Yeah, but you're still wrong.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So in that regard, like, I'm still willing to hear that and go, okay, I am.
But
so what exactly are you a wizard at?
At getting people or getting whoever I'm talking to in that moment to go, okay, I see, I understand. Like it's really strange. Like I'm basically, I can get myself off the hook by changing perspective. Whatever.
That's it. Right there.
I was waiting to hear manipulate.
I said that. But it's not necessarily. Again, it is a form of manipulation. But bro, like,
That's all it is, man.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
Because he's right.
He started off saying, I'm a wizard at manipulating motherfuckers, man. That's what he said at the beginning.
So the question is it still considered manipulation if there's some validity behind it?
My man's like, my name is Chief Peterson, and I am a con artist. Oh man, that's like my man from Hustle and Flow. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right because I could have been right.
Right.
Man, nah. Manipulation is manipulation. I think you could be valid in what you're talking and feel like it's right, and somebody else can agree. But
And
yeah, manipulate is manipulate.
That's the other thing. Both things can be true. You can be you can be validated in what you're saying, and they still don't have to agree. You see what I'm saying?
So it's weird, fellas, because it's not a matter of like, it's not a right or wrong thing for me. It's not.
But you leave like, yeah, I got that one.
Not really.
Or maybe it's like an ability to articulate or like communicate your point effectively to your audience. Because
that's kind of so.
Like
let's talk about the audience
in the space of communication. I think that's a good point, P. Like I'm growing and better at communicating now. Like I'm not afraid to tell you how I feel, and I would hope that you can hear me and understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. I'm way too expressive now. Some shit I could just be like, you know what I mean? It ain't worth.
Here's another thing that you have to consider. And I know you deal with it because I deal with it, and you're bigger than me, like in stature, right? And I'm gonna explain that in a second. Also, sidebar, I see why people think I'm short because I'm looking at myself in this little box and I do look small. But anyway, so something you got to remember, Chief, right? Like Bernie Mac said, black people, we talk aggressive, like we gonna yell, we ain't gonna do nothing. But that's kind of you, right? Like you can be. Let me explain. You're 6'2", 250 pounds, right? And a black man. Like that's something that I forget all the time. Like my team had to remind me the other day of that. There's like, because I'm in my head, I'm like, yo, this is Bell. I'm just, yeah, I'm the boss, but I'm cool, right? You can talk to me. But then they're like, nah, bro, you're scary as fuck.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, but when I seen you in Brooklyn, I was like, damn, this nigga bigger than I thought.
But that's one, you got physical size, right? That can be an intimidation factor. Then you have psychological size. You you and I have talked about that before, right? People hold you in very high regard, right? So it's like this, man.
I see where you're going. It's
like this. You could be talking to a financial advisor, right? And the information he give you might not be right, but it's he has the credentials. So it's like, yeah, it's probably right. It's coming from him, right? I hold him in this regard. So why would he be wrong? Why would I know more than him in this particular situation? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, Chief, like you, big black dude, poet laureate, well-spoken, travel the world, right? Master's degree, like you have a lot that people would question and or potentially become inferior to you when in debate, right?
And then, you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, and then you factor in that you can be a loud talker at times. And again, you can be smiling and everything, right? But you're emotional, right? So you can have emotion behind your words, and that also can come off as intimidating. So people just be like, "Oh, you right, you got it." Oh, for lack of a better, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, nah, yeah, okay, I can see it that way, because they're trying to get out of the situation at that point, right? Like, not because they're scared, because they're like, well, yeah, why wouldn't he be right about that? But that's why I said, who are you talking to?
You know what? Something to think about. You got to be sure that what you're perceiving is like your ability to get your point across or manipulate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it really may be the influence you have on other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit may not be your wizardry, but your influence, and you kind of ain't even looking at it right if you're looking at it that way. And I have a personal feeling that it's absolutely your influence over, because you're not like I'm a hustle this nigga type of dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
so you don't come from that space.
Yeah. That's why I want to use the word manipulation, but essentially that's, the culmination of it all. But like, it's just weird sometimes. I sit back and I go like, did I not hear Prentice good enough? Like, am I not taking his perspective to heart? Like, I heard what he said, but does it mean like, did I not validate what you said? know what I'm saying? Because I was so busy on impressing my perspective upon you. Did I not validate what you said? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think that's why I get caught up right now, because I feel like, again, with the lens I'm starting to see things in, I'm trying to find the positive or the less tense road to travel. So when we find a disagreement, I'm going, we could have just looked at it like it's not that big of a deal. We could look at it, but to you, it's a big deal. But to me, I'm trying to get you to understand how it's not and why I looked at it like this. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, I do get what you're saying, but you know what you're doing in that moment is you're not validating them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said. Am I not validating your point? But again, but it's weird because I listened well, Bell. Like I'm listening to. I heard what you said, but is it if I still feel the need to push my perspective on you after hearing your point and accepting and understanding it? Does it still feel like I'm not validating you?
You don't believe it,
and you're missing the moment. You're missing the moment.
So am I wrong by wanting you to, Bell, particularly?
Yes.
Am I wrong for hearing you, understand your perspective, but wanting you to understand mine?
Yeah, understanding yours and wanting me to accept yours.
So, okay, so that's a good point. So my dilemma has been the audience, because they're not willing to accept. I heard everything you said, Bell, but when I tell you mine, you still like nah. So now,
why do they have to?
I don't feel validated.
Yep.
I think you don't feel that.
Hold on, P. I think that's the case because I heard you, I understood you, and I validated you, but didn't get the same in return. I think that is where my struggle lies.
Yeah, that's tough because, like Prentice said, and I would imagine anybody who you're having these conversations with understands this. You're not, regardless if you're like completely opposite of their train of thought, like it's not coming from an ill place. Like there's no malintent, you know what I'm saying? And that's where it sucks because it's like, damn, like I'm not trying to get over on you. Like I'm just this is how I viewed it.
So I'm in a place where I think I'm more accepting of agreeing to disagree, but to the audience, it's a disagreement. If that makes sense. Like I'm like, okay, we agree, disagree. But they're like, no, they're like, no, I'm right. But no, did you hear what I said though? But like if you looked at it like this, maybe you wouldn't be as upset. And it's like, nah. And that's where my issue is. Like, there's no agree, disagree. It's like the audience has been in the right or wrong thing. And for me, it's literally trying to understand perspective.
And again, you know, that goes back to relationship. Like I had a disagreement with someone recently, and I'm like, look, I understand, and I this is actually good. So this situation was weighing on me for like 3 days, but I knew I had a call coming up with this person, so I knew it would be addressed during that time. So speaking to our executive coach, he was like, Bell, you know, it may not be a bad, actually it wasn't, it was one of my mentors. He was like, it may not be a bad idea to go into that conversation with expressing where you could have done something better or different to not get here. Like regardless if it's still this person's 100% fault, outline and address what you could have done differently to get a different result. So when I went into that conversation, I went into it like, hey, I understand this about myself, right? I get triggered by certain things. And that when that happened, I was triggered. I also understand that I communicate better, but I communicate better than I have been, but I can get more specific about what I need. So that all that did is opened up the door to like, hey, here's where I screwed up, right? But I'm telling you where you screwed up and we can talk through this. So that person had their justification, or not in justification, their reasoning, and I had mine, and we met at like, that was on me, right? And so that was on you, and this part was on me, right? How do we fix it? You see what I'm saying, Chief? Like, that's the common ground. It's like, are we both willing to relationship? Are we both knowing the heart of this person? 1, 2, can we get to a place where we can lead with transparency and vulnerability? Like, hey, here's where I fucked up in this situation. You know what I'm saying? I could have did this different. But here's what you said and how it impacted me. And now let's talk about it. Because now you're going there with your guard down. Right. So the first vulnerability creates community. So that's that's my thought. And that's not something that I was born with. That's something that literally had to get coached to do just last week.
Right. I think sometimes too, you gotta like, why are you communicating, Chief? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you talking to this person? Like, what's your intent behind a conversation? And if it's understanding, I feel like understanding is always the easiest way to approach a conversation. Because if you approach with the intent of just understanding, your thoughts and feelings you're always going to have them. Those aren't going to go away. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to feel how you feel already. You're going to have your opinion. But if you're not conversing to understand, you're going to totally miss those moments and be so focused on them understanding what you're saying as well. You know what I'm saying? I think you're going to do yourself a disservice if you go into conversations like that. If because you have the ability to understand them, expecting the same from them, it ain't gonna happen.
I think that is my issue right there. I'm expecting a similar response to what I get, and I don't get it, and it kind of, I guess I can't say subconsciously, but it kind of urges me to kind of push my point because I don't feel like they're at the same level of understanding, and it's super, super, super frustrating. You know
you got to operate in purpose at that point, but like you got to operate whatever your standard is. That's where you got to go after that. Because if you know what I'm saying, I feel like if you let that dictate, you know what I'm saying, like then you're gonna be in the wind all the time, man. And you know,
and you're gonna be in an emotional place for a while. Right, because
you gotta go back to your standard.
Exactly. I think if you understand that it didn't come from ill intent, you maybe misunderstood a situation, and here's where you could have did something different, but here's where they could have did something different. And if they can't come to agreement, that's cool, man. Like it's not gonna be everybody after every conversation. Oh yeah, no, I totally get it, and you're right, I was wrong, or you're right and I'm right, so I understand. We can move forward. It won't always be that way, you know. And that's okay. And especially if, again, the dynamics of the relationship, like, are they peers? Are they subordinates? Are they equals? Are they adversaries? Like it's the I guess what I'm saying is you can't have the same expectation for every conversation and every audience. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just going to be different.
Nah, for sure. It's one of them things where like I found myself a lot lately with that, like I don't remember the meme, but kind of like, you know, it's no point in arguing with or talking to people who are committed to or not understand you or something like that. And it's like, okay, I caught myself, okay, this conversation is pointless now. So.
I'm so eager though to hear the next one. I want, and you call me, you be calling me and asking me to weigh in if you tripping or if it's a situation or whatnot. I want to hear the next time this happens, just so I can.
Hey, bro, the last time I called you, you was like, you know what? Wow, I'm actually surprised at your response. Like.
100%. 100%. I was mainly because you were so tight and knowing that that conversation was going to have to happen, and you was almost like prepping for the conversation. I'm just like, you can go that way. And then when it actually happened, I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I would have been able to respond that way, but that was impressive. So
I left it alone. But again, that was one of them things where it's like, it's no point in talking, so I was committed to misunderstanding you.
Yeah. One thing don't do though, but like we have a habit sometimes when we don't, like, our end result isn't given, like them understanding you the same way you understood them. We start questioning our own fucking ability to understand shit. So you're like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, is it me? Am I too focused on my ability to? Nigga, it's an ability. Nigga, it don't make you know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. You just got to understand you're not going to get the same result. Like Bill said, it's every conversation is different. So
I'm going to
approach the conversation with a purpose and just stick to the purpose and you be good.
So I'm going to run the situation by you and see your response to it. But I think I did good and I left it alone since then, but I haven't said nothing about it. But
yeah, man, a lot of it's audience too.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, so that my check-in was hella long, but I think we drifted.
And we still on the check-in?
Nah.
This is an episode.
we drifted into the topic, but nah, I appreciate that because
I don't even remember a topic. Was there a topic? We didn't have no topic.
Is happiness a trauma response? That's how it started, and then we just.
I feel like we talked about that for like a minute.
Yeah, so we'll change it, but either way, I appreciate y'all, man. I wanted to bounce it off y'all because again, it bounced to the introspective. I'm trying to get your perspective and help myself. It's level up to be the best me, but I think I got to bounce these ideas off because I feel like sometimes I be in my own way or just not seeing it from a lens I need to see it from to help be the better version of myself. So appreciate y'all boys, man. But I gotta take a shower. I played in the old man league and I gave him a double bell.
Yeah,
tired. Yeah, I'm tired, B.
Bro, my Achilles hurt thinking about playing basketball right now, man.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing. I got a podiatry appointment tomorrow for my other foot, not even my Achilles, like my other foot. Like, it's like getting old shit is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. But
well, I'm in the gym only so I can look like an ex-athlete. That is the only reason I'm in the gym, and I'm getting there. And like the day I get used to playing the league, I'm like, I'm done, nigga. Hell yeah.
Prentice he got a consultation with his trainer. Trainer's like, yeah, what are you trying to get accomplished? Ex-athlete status.
Let's go. I need my NFL card. Yeah, I don't care if it's a 97, 98.
Man, them NFL cards hold weight, man. I got a story about the NFL cards.
They sell them around in the Bay out here, man. It's just, they do. They do. But yeah, this was a great one. I like this one. This felt good.
Anywho, let's finish.
If you gonna call me tonight, tell me the scenario, or you gonna call me tomorrow?
I don't actually know if there's a scenario, Bell. I just
okay.
There might be one, but I was just thinking about it because I feel like oftentimes I'm like I don't know if I try to push my perspective on to people or I'm just trying to find that common ground of understanding. And I don't want to be the guy that's pushing his perspective on. I want to find a common ground, but I think again the audience sometimes makes it very difficult for me to do that.
Yeah, man. Somebody said something before, man. And now it's not a direct quote, but it's something to the effect of change your circle, change your life, or change something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, by default, we're in these circles, right, with people that don't help us, help us grow, right? They kind of take away. And it eats at you, and then when you get to a point where now this becomes trauma, right? You go to another arena, another level in your life, and you avoid these conversations because you're so grateful about where you are, and you're like, damn, I know how this can go, and I don't want it to go there, so I'm not even going to go down that road. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time, it wasn't what you were saying; it's who you were saying it to. Mm-hmm. That's my final thought because that shit was deep.
I read something the other day and it was something along the lines of like, I just forgot my thought, so never mind. P, check the final thought.
Well, damn, bro, I just forgot. It was good too. I forgot eloquent. It was something Bell said, man. What was you just saying, Bell? Say the last part.
I said, sometimes it's not what you're saying, it's who you're saying it to.
Yeah, it was right off of that, and I still don't remember.
Like, yeah, that's what got me to think of it, but I still don't know.
All good. I don't know. Anyways, that was me. Don't be afraid to check in with your homies and check yourself. So that's what I did. But per usual, y'all, find us on all social media platforms at All Black Men Need Therapy. Shoot us an email, allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com, and do us all a favor. Hug a black man today.
Do it, girl.
And tomorrow.
Then do it.
We out, y'all.